Amazing. Oh, okay, amazing. So we only have about, I think, 5 to 6 questions.
Okay.
Albert and I are thinking we'll just switch back and forth, and we'll try to make this pretty quick because, again, long meeting for you, and you're a busy man as well.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
but first, yeah, well, we've been really excited to work with you and really grateful that you're doing this testimonial. Obviously, it means a lot to us and our businesses. So, first
And you
question
guys are
is,
hitting record, right?
we have
Yeah.
our AI meeting note takers in here. So mine does the first person view, so who's talking, and Albin's does us as a group. All of our little squares will be visible.
Okay, cool. So you guys are actually recording the video too, right? The video of this?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. We both love our AI note takers. They're amazing. We reference them all the time. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, Chanu, but you go in and the whole thing's been transcribed. Key areas have been summarized and grouped together, and action items are pulled every single meeting we're in, which is pretty sick.
TLDV?
Yeah, so that's Albin's one that's for Google Meets. Is it native to Google Meet, right? It's like Google Meets.
No, basically it's like a Chrome extension, and you can also have like a desktop iOS app for
Oh,
Zoom.
cool. Does it work on and there's a version of this for Zoom, I think, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Cool. Is it also called TLDV or no?
Yeah, TLDV, like too long didn't view, I think, something like this.
Yeah.
But
See,
yeah.
the cool part about mine, which is I like to always bring this up because I love my fellow guy, is you can create agendas and take meeting notes live while you're in the meeting. There's a little pop-up where you take notes and look at your agenda, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, very nice. I need to
Yeah.
test these out because I do a ton of client-facing work, so I think tools will be very helpful. I'm kind of a boomer though.
Well, there's even like Firefly as well. People love that one. We don't love it as much, but a lot of other people love it. So if you need any suggestions, we'll send over a list.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay, so if we were to dive into it. So first, if you could please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Chanu Dasari. I'm a surgeon, and I also have a YouTube channel where I discuss how to reverse autoimmune disease in 6 weeks. We use the mind gut immunity method to coach clients in order to repair their gut health and reverse the root causes of inflammation.
Amazing. Wow. Impressive.
Okay, nice. Yeah, really impressive. I mean, I wish I'd had some mind gut immunity problem to be able to see how it works out, because it looks really effective. So
I don't wish it upon anyone. But yes, yeah, it works. It works really well for chronic inflammation. These are the sort of things that most physicians, most doctors are really focused on running tests and prescribing medications. A lot of them are not really focused on trying to fix the root cause. A lot of them don't know how to fix the root cause, right? So some of these things I would say we do a very good job at fixing, and so our clients are generally really happy and see results fast.
It's amazing. 6 weeks too. Wow, that's impressive.
Impressive. Yeah, so you did say that you have a YouTube business and YouTube channel with over 30K subscribers. And can you describe a brief overview of your business and what challenges you were facing before you used our services, like the content management software?
Yeah, so I'm a surgeon by training, but in the last 2 years, most of my clients have come through the internet. And I will just say that most of them have come through finding me on YouTube. On YouTube, I make mainly long-form content. This long-form content talks about specific disease processes and the underlying risk factors that make them worse. I also give some very key examples on how to reverse these risk factors. What I've found that's challenging is I'm not somebody that really likes making and posting content on like 10 or 15 different platforms. You know, right now there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, there's IG, there's YouTube Shorts, there's TikTok. And while I'll, get obsessed with like maybe one area, like maybe I'll post on IG for like a few months at a time, or I've posted before on Twitter, or X now, a couple of times, or like there was a whole year where I was posting on TikTok, and I love TikTok. The problem is it's really hard to be consistent across all the platforms because it requires work or it requires a budget in order to hire someone. And a lot of these social media managers, they're good at managing maybe 1, 2, 3 channels, but once you start asking them to manage like 5, 6, 7, 8 channels, it becomes really tough. And I think the burden on them is very high. You can try to do auto posting, right? And there are a bunch of platforms that do auto posting. The problem with these platforms is whatever post you generate, A, is very poor quality, but B, the post doesn't generate any views. It's almost like a useless sort of a tool or a service, because it needs to be search engine optimized. There needs to be hooks. There needs to be very compelling content, and that's where the AI piece is really important. The tool that you built for me allows us to do that. It allows us to do that at scale. Like, I can go in and type in, like, if I'm reading a journal article and I'm sipping my, eating my breakfast in the morning, I say, hey, this is a really good journal article about, this type of bacteria that makes autoimmune disease worse. I would love to post this on all my social media channels. Okay. So then I, put that link in, right? And then it'll generate the actual post. It'll come up with a hook. It'll come up with why people should care about it. It's going to come up with a blurb, but it's not like this crazy long scientific overly explained blurb. It uses colloquial, high impact kind of copy to write that. And it'll post it. And then it'll also allow you to put an image next to it. It'll also allow you to put, like, you can even like have a video associated with it. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, and that saves so much time. So now, and I do a lot of reading. I do a lot, like, to stay on top of my my work. I'm reading probably 10,000 research papers every year or so. Like, I'm reading 30, 40 papers a day sometimes. And so this is something that's really important, I think, and I think it allows us to do it at scale, but also effectively.
That's amazing. Thank you for explaining all that. It was a really great overview of what we did. My next question kind of is, how has the automation we built affected your day-to-day business operations? So you kind of explained what the challenges were. Have they improved now, or what does your day-to-day look like now?
Yeah, so I have a social media manager who's also happens to be a video content guru. His name's Al King. Shout out Throne Digital. But he is somebody that generates very high quality long form content and can generate short form content. The thing that he struggles with, like a lot of small agencies, is like he doesn't have the large manpower to be able to do this across multiple platforms. So right now we've had to prioritize the platforms where we think it's most important. And that's obviously constrained by budget. Nobody wants to just keep spending thousands and thousands of dollars to post across multiple platforms. But also, we don't want to also spam post on these platforms a bunch of useless content, because that's a really great way to get deplatformed. That's a really good way for people to unfollow you. It's also a great way just to waste time and effort, right? So if your whole feed is generated with all these auto-posted things from you or someone else, it just like that doesn't really connect with people. And so you need content that connects, that elicits emotion, that is original, that is not just some auto-posted sort of thing. So the thing for us that's changed in our workflow is now our person doesn't have to think about trying to post to multiple platforms. They can post one time. It goes across multiple platforms. They can go and quality check all of the posts before they get posted, and it will post natively in the actual program itself. And native posting is important because if the platform thinks it's just some like repeated auto post, then it won't get any legs. It won't get any traction. And it'll be kind of pointless. So we've now found a way to expand the work output of just having 1 or 2 people, like a micro team in the marketing space, but it almost looks like as if we have, like, I don't know, 10, 15 people working on this.
That's so amazing. So you guys haven't found that engagement has been affected through this automation that we built for you?
No, and we're very early in this process, so we're still looking at some of the metrics on this. But I can just say from some of the outputs that we're seeing, they look very good. And we're only a few weeks into this, but I can just see that it's a lot different than a lot of these other auto posting platforms.
Amazing.
Whether the long-term metrics on this have yet to be seen, but I think that it's a very promising first couple of weeks, and I'm very excited by this.
Great.
Yeah, amazing. I'm really glad that we were able to create something that has a real value for you, and like a product that's basically you love and you're going to use every single day, because that's where the value is made, you know. But aside from like,
and you
yeah,
deliver, you actually said you did what you said you were gonna do, and I was stunned. You know, there's all these people say on the internet they're gonna do something and then they don't do it, or like, you know, you're always worried like, well, am I gonna get some, you know, shit product or something, you know? And I was so thrilled when I had a working product in my hand, and it was like even better than what I had imagined. It was really good. So I'm very happy. Thank you. I'm very grateful.
That's so nice to hear. That's great.
yeah,
Thanks,
so
Jan.
nice to hear. I mean, that's what we do, like at Ladi and at Aurea, like that's what we do. We deliver on like the product that we take on. Otherwise, like we just don't accept them. But
Exactly.
yeah, aside from like the product itself, how was your experience working with us, like the communication and like everything that's around the real build?
Yeah, I think one of the challenges from a business owner is when they are hiring an agency, it's very hard to know what they're doing, right? There may not be as close communication or follow-up. I think we were communicating multiple times a week and setting up multiple mini meetings in addition to like these check-in meetings literally every week. And so there was so many points of contact just to be able to troubleshoot. And some of these were working meetings, right? Like to get some of the content right. We had to do some of the prompt engineering a little bit more creatively in order to get some of these, the onboarding, for example, of these, or getting the connection piece of it, like all these social media platforms. Whenever you want to connect to them, they'll send you something on your phone that you have to be literally right next to in order to accept. And then that way the connection can be formed. So some of these things we worked through, but it was great because then I could see like how much went into this process, and I myself could have some creative input to try to generate the thing that I wanted out of this, which is phenomenal. I mean, this is just like such a boutique kind of a service that you offer, and it's great. I don't know if you ever sleep, but that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, we don't talk about this here.
Yeah, we don't talk about it. Well, that's really amazing to hear. No, that's great. Communication is really a big priority for us. We want to make sure that you're in the loop. You know what we're doing. You know, we're building that trust and rapport through every step of the way. So I guess the big question is, would you recommend this to others? And hopefully the answer would be yes. And if it is yes, what advice would you give to other businesses when they are considering kind of utilizing AI and automation?
Yeah, I would recommend you guys overwhelmingly yes. I did try to enlist the help of other quote unquote automation specialists. You all know that. We all discussed that up front. The problem is a lot of these people or these agencies want to give you a solution that they want to give you. It's like you go to a drive-through and you don't order from a menu. You just get told what you need, right? And sometimes that's not what you need. Actually, most of the time, that's actually not what your business needs. Your business needs a very boutique and kind of like an individualized, personalized solution. And so to be able to deliver on that is huge, right? It's not one of these things where it's like, it's not saying like, just go with any automation agency. I think there's going to be a huge, different variation in terms of what people can deliver on. I know I went through a couple different folks that said that they couldn't deliver on certain things, right? Or they wanted to give me a solution that I didn't want, like that was not helpful and was not going to solve my problem. And so to be able to work with people that can solve your problem, that really take your concerns into account and deliver on the product and deliver in a time frame that they said they would deliver it on the budget that they agreed on, that is a very big thing. And I'll even go out and say providing a product that doesn't require constant maintenance, constant upkeep, something that works. These things are huge. And I think, you know, even in the automation space, because it's so new, I would tell small business owners, I would tell enterprise owners, I would tell people that are in decision making for AI to really put in some due diligence about trying to rate and vet the teams that they hire, because most of the time you're not going to be able to hire some in-house talent that's as good as you guys are. And I'll just also tell you, most of the agencies out there doing this type of work, it's like a mixed bag. You don't really know what you're going to get. So I would just tell you, just stick with people that come like very highly recommended, and do your due diligence. I think it's like most things. It's kind of how like people come to me. Like, I'm a surgeon, I'm a doctor, but I do things a lot differently. I'm fixing the root cause of the problem for a lot of these folks. And so when they come and seek me, they're not seeking some solution that some other doctor is forcing down their throat. They're really just saying, hey, does this person understand what my concerns are? And does he have potentially a way to help me with those concerns that's not just this sort of like rudimentary sort of way that doesn't address what I'm really concerned about? And so I just think it's just such a good way to build a career and build a business. And it really makes those relationships special and strong.
Amazing. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Chanu. That's really great to hear, honestly. And it's been a real pleasure working with you. And we're excited to continue working with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was all of